Among all the presidential candidates, among all the popular presidential candidates, now you be the youngest among the popular ones.
I don't be the youngest. Okay, when you say popular, yes.
Among the popular ones.
Well, it depends on what is popular.
Okay.
You know, like I tell you, all these people you show for you, a lot of them are unpopular characters. So you cannot claim that somebody will don't destroy Nigeria before a popular person. They are infamous politicians, and that's not popularity.
No, if you look at from the angle say they don't occupy public offices.
No, Hitler not occupy public office. Najibullah for Afghanistan not occupy public office. Bota for South Africa not occupy public office. They are unpopular. But I know what they talk. You talk to say, well, they are known largely because of the way.
So what's the reggae way they try sing? Be say, come be like saying, now you be the youngest among all the well-known, presidential candidates.
Address them say, there are 18 presidential candidates. Among the 6 people where you line up for here, yes, now maybe the person with the youngest, now the SDP guy, the 50-year-old. Yeah,
but now your face, now people say
my face, because now my face shine pass, you know. You see, some all of them look like my papa, you know. Even the ones where I will pass, they look like say I young pass them because I do exercise well, okay. All that thing. Maybe just say I dey youthful because they likely see me with young people and they attend protests and they do marathon and they do all these things. So and they boogie too, if chance dey. So all those youthful things that they do, and that make people they look me say whether I young past my age.
We know say this na politics, and we know say like you talk earlier say politics na game.
Yes.
So we don't see politicians come, they don't come and go, and it be like say na like soldier go soldier come, bad no come out. Na the same pattern. So now as you don't come out, declare your ambition. Wetin you feel say you get differently from all the politicians wey don dey come? And wetin you wan give us make we take accept you and believe you say okay we the people na this man we wan give our votes.
You know the thing wey dey there say not be to just make mouth na the thing wey you dey talk say a lot of politicians they fit talk like this make person wey die be like say still dey alive. You understand? Politicians dey lie. That's why me I don't like make person call me politician. Because it don't make me feel like say I dead part of the people where they lie. And you know say for area, if person owe you money no wan pay you, call am no dey answer. You can't answer on say you don't become politician no. My own be say no. My own make you look at my background. This Lagos wey we dey na University of Lagos, no far from you. If you take leg waka from here to there, go check when I dey universities where I do. I'm student union president. This road where you dey, Ikorodu road for this Lagos. Now we take fight for democracy. Many people die for this road. Well, Abacha the past one, they just shoot people, kill people for the street. Around that kind of 1993. But how many times we don't hold this road? Nothing will happen. In our days, you don't hold the Ikorodu road, Lagos don't shut down. And so they take down. I may be the king of blocking the road. I think I will give you an example of my own character.
Okay.
You know, that are different from all these people. Most of the people when they talk now, they don't even fight for anything. But that people will just come take over because opportunities open. Opportunities where we open for 1999. That's some of them still become grandfathers, grandsons, and godfathers for politics today. So those of us when they make the sacrifice, just look and say, Shana, so we go to look, they go win this country to saute, nothing go remain. And someone like me, obviously I need to come back to Nigeria. I don't do America for 20 years already. I just did there to enjoy my life. I get family, I get motor, I get house. I don't get any business to come back to Nigeria. But I just look and say, if everybody jackpot too, the country where you the jackpot go, not some people sacrifice to make the place better. Now make me pack my things, come back.
At start when we talk about the Ibadan Expressway, we talk about abandoned projects. You talk say they know they hold some people accountable.
At all.
Reasons, and we feel narrow this one down to corruption because when you know people accountable, it means say people go just
use corruption. Yes.
Them like. So my question come be say, what you go do differently regarding corruption? How you go tackle this thing? Because it be like one of our major, what we feel call cancer, where they eat us up for this country.
What I will tell you first and foremost, the biggest abandoned project for Nigeria now, youths. They have been abandoned in every facet of the project of development. But to your question, when they ask, say, what did I fit do? It's like, you must understand, like I said, say, this thing wey dey happen now, they don't plan it. And the plan, that is where the corruption that you're talking about came in. Every contract in this country, when they begin starts to do corruption, na 10% that they collect. But if they won't pay for contract, I'm just using contract as an example, they go to pay small as you development of the job day. But today, you go collect contract, the person wey give you the contract will pay you 100% of the contract. He will collect a own percentage. Even if you come back on do the contract, they ask you say, instead make you do contract. Because it's a sharing formula, it's not a contractual agreement anymore. But I told you about the US now, if they give you contract 6 months, if you want to be in the good books of government, you have to do the contract and finish before even the expiration date. They say they give you thumbs up, and next time they give you contract. But the way to solve corruption problem are 3 ways. The first way na to ensure say people don't get access to cash. It's fundamental. Digitalize or digitize everything, whichever name way you want to call it.
Cashless economy.
Cashless economy. Use means like several other technology, like blockchain technology, which is a transparent way of doing business these days. For office, this is my office now, I finish am. To enter studio, if you don't put your fingerprint, you know if you enter. So outside that, we know the program inside the cannot just come and enter the studio. And if you enter the studio, they go know the person wey enter the studio last, the time when you arrive and the time when you close. That one also helps them to do a digital audit of who is working and who came to work. So that is number one. So that one reduces access.
That one will help reduce ghost workers too.
Yes, ghost workers. For example, Nigeria have been doing what they call IPPIs, where if you no sign up, if you don't fulfill some paper, you don't fit dey collect salary. Do you know that at the IPPIs, which was what we suggested in 2018, when they concluded it reduced the federal workforce from 1.8 million workers to 720. Just that's a digital miracle, right?
Just that small technology.
That small technology where they introduced. But do you know what they came? Then all of them started coming to ask for waivers again and started opening accounts to pay, fraudulent and ghost workers. So that's number one. The second level is enforcement. If anybody is then caught, well, the enforcement will be very, very radical. You have heard about China. Some of them are not true stories, but you heard about the urban legend in China say if you steal public money, they will shoot you after trial. After they shoot you finish, your family will come pay for the bullets. So that family no will ever produce any thief anymore.
And a double wahala for
the body
and the owner of the body.
And they will still collect the money where you steal back from you. But in our own case, look at all the former head of state where we know say they be thief. They all the gallivant around. Some people go to even meet them, so they endorse them. People were supposed to inside prison. Right? But the only one will die, Abacha. You see they get money from a ATM machine today.
They sell returns.
You see they sell returns. You just say if this other person die, we're not going to get returns from them too. Because me, I believe Babangida still pasha. I believe Obasanjo still, Jonathan still. That Jonathan owns, maybe they collect $25 million from his wife. Person we don't even get any official role. So they say they run away with money since all this, they will not even hear from him again. They not even they call home.
They don't collect the bra.
She forget home.
She forget home. For 4 years, 7 years now, she don't come back. One time you go faint, say he get cancer, scrape her head.
But the people say na anytime where the case won't come up for court, now she will say,
so, all those things, they happen for society where they work. But the last and the third most important part of it is also the kind of ethical society that will be built in the future, where people also have that moral burden to steal. Because anybody will come from our own part of Ondo State or Delta State, the Robos, if you steal, they will carry the shell of a snail around your neck. Even if you steal goats, tie the goats around you, begin holla for streets. Nobody will ever do that. That is mobilization of shame against such criminal acts, because each time you steal ₦1 million, you have deprived several children of primary school education. You have deprived somebody of getting medical treatment. So you've done a lot of crimes against humanity by taking what does not belong to you. So ultimately, society must also be repulsive or be repulsed when they hear say somebody take wetin no belong to am, wey belong to the society. So those 3 stages are very necessary for us to get to the El Dorado. Not be say thief no go dey. You can never stop stealing in even America. America they corrupt most. In fact, they have a street called Wall Street. It's the most corrupt street in the world. They did this there, but the day America catch you, the whole world will shake, say, you don't catch this thief. They will make example of you. Action day, you go see police. You know, and no matter how powerful you are, they will handcuff you. They will show you for TV. That is part of the mobilization of shame we are talking about. But here, somebody will go EFCC. They're not going to even let anybody know, say they invite them. Yeah, they give them VIP treatment. In fact, I hear now say the new office of the EFCC, some people will go there. They will say, maybe they go now and say, maybe we want this thing will spend 2 days to rest. Because now VIP treatments and the phone not there, they don't want rest. If they hear when they do that for America, if they say, well, they could obviously run around, you run come up from there. So these are what Nigeria needs to do. But most importantly, is also to make sure that people will steal, they are documented. When I become president, I will get museum of national thieves. You know, for my manifesto, I just think now. Where we say, if you enter the place, look the face of all the people.
They watch all the looters.
Yes. The museum of looters. So you go sit in America, you write how much you steal. Obasanjo ITT. You understand? Just put on like that. And how much we don't recover. How much will the family still owe us? As maybe
also serve as tourist center.
Yes, for people to just say,
for foreigners.
If you do this in the future, say your name will appear for the Hall of Fame, infamous Hall of Fame for looters. There should be a Hall of Fame for looters in this country. They don't loot this country.
Me say even as time dey go on, you know, you go dey see them. Unlike now when they talk, say people they celebrate all this.
Yes,
people.
now.
You go dey look and say, I'm not still owe us.
Yes, now. They look and say, you past you owe us 700 million.
Okay, marshal break on top that one. Make we digress more. Many believe say some of your allegation not a day correct. Say wuru the day inside. So how you feel about the new development on top Okunkwe? Because years ago you and I get small quarter inside studio. So what is your reaction on top that?
It's a function of how our people they confused. See, some of this really happen for Nigeria. I don't blame people. They don't even believe say it dey happen. You know, so their reaction is this one is exaggeration. Sowore don't come again. So like this 10 years ago or 9 years ago we met on Al Jazeera. I don't even know say Naim won't come that day. We just discuss about Boko Haram. Now we show for this. Meanwhile, I don't do story before. 700 million wey he collect from Benue State for road, they don't pay back. That time he never even carried that Suki money, as they say, they call it now. He abused me tired. So I come as I see chance to catch him for that Al Jazeera. Now I launch attack. The vex wey dey my mind even that time pass the one we did now. You know. Even though I see the vex now, but my vex now they get the way where I take deliver. I just because I look am. I did for America, they work my ass. This one will not get a job. Just chop millions, you know, yafu. So now I attack him. Abuse me back. But come see, 9 years later, judge come to jail. But the problem is say justice delayed is justice denied. Because even at this conviction, because this conviction we get, is he not return the money? In fact, they just fine am 30 million naira by 4 o'clock. You don't carry the 30 million come pay. If na America, they will come tell you say that 30 million naira wey they bring to take pay for the fine, where you get am. That one we go see this is all this day. Go see
dey for another case.
Yes.
You don't enter another year why be that.
And they go ask am say this 30 million you don't pay your tax. Before you know am, now you go say make I just stay for prison for now. So that other problems don't go come out.
Okay, marshal break. We're gonna need to go for a small break. When we come back, we go open our phone line so that viewers go fit ask 1 or 2 questions on top our guest. We dey come back, make it not go anywhere. Many talk say that 1999 constitution say na the big problem of Nigeria menace today. The katakata wey we dey face na inside that constitution dey. So wetin your government go do if you become president for 2023?
You know, as I sit down for here, I don't recognize the constitution. But I know say na that constitution dey take say dey manage and mismanage the country. I go get rid of the constitution. Na military make the constitution, not be constitution. We no be call am constitution sef. They just na decree. I think it's decree 22 or so wey military put together. And that constitution not take into consideration how this country will take progress. In fact, this constitution wey you see as you put am up there, they amend am so tey the person wey dey amend the constitution, he don become billionaire.
Okay, welcome to the show. Your name and where they call us from? Okay, you get question for our presidential candidate?
Okay, Sowore, I would like to know how you intend to tackle the insecurity because the thing don't increase by the day. Now people even kill them after they don't pay the ransom.
Okay, thank you for that.
So when you talk about insecurity, now different types of insecurity dey. Insecurity dey wey economic problem cause. The way to address am na to solve the economic problems. Insecurity dey wey be different disagreements wey dey for country like IPOB, Yoruba, nation agitators. That one na different kind of disagreement. You treat that by dialogue. Insecurity dey wey all these terrorists and bandits cause. That one, because they know they hear word, you have to treat it with iron hand. But if there's any one of them we won't talk, opportunity go dey. Then the biggest insecurity wey Nigeria dey face na the insecurity wey security agents themselves cause, either by directly engaging in crime or aiding and abetting in criminals, or they themselves getting involved in things that you cannot believe. Like all those top soldiers wey dey steal money for buying weapons. Like they cause insecurity, but nobody presents them as insecurity. All this corruption that goes on, the procurement of arms, aiding and abetting, involvement in terrorism based on religious beliefs, they are all insecurities that must be addressed, but they are not being addressed. But you must understand the root cause of insecurity to address insecurity. And that's how I break it down quickly.
Okay, so before the caller calling, the question about the 1999
Yes.
constitution.
I tell you say na fake constitution.
And we know say e no really dey the president hand alone, because if you be the number one, you still get the National Assembly to wey we say we fit contend against if they no agree with you. So how you go, mash up everything
wey you say the president of Nigeria get power, get plenty power, well, but that is not power to be misused. The president get agenda. Legislative agenda is the first agenda that must be addressed or that will be addressed. And it will be my legislative agenda to say, look, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria of 1999 is a fake document. It was imposed on us by the military. The military, even in some cases, forgot to eliminate errors in it. Like there was a part of the Constitution up to the time we mentioned America instead of Nigeria because they go plagiarize them. The Constitution of Nigeria now join, they take some part from the UK, Singapore, they just mash them together.
Na Abriba so.
Yes, so that's why you don't go fit know anybody will promulgate the Constitution. You don't fit know anybody because na RAG Constitution. So the most important thing to do to a fraudulent document like that is to junk it, jettison it, and then call the people to create a new constitution. And the constitution will go through a referendum. Without a constitution going through a referendum, it's not legitimate. Are you getting my point? So, and we must keep making that clear. But the question is, will the president have his way? Well, it's very important that we have our way in this particular circumstance.
Agenda.
Because if we don't, what will befall Nigeria will be disaster, catastrophe. Because the constitutional issue is a foundational issue for Nigeria. And Nigeria is pulling, in different directions, centripetally and centrifugally. We don't know which one will fit, scatter everything. But this constitution is an immediate solution All the people they talking about restructuring, they're also talking about a brand new constitution.
Okay.
But a lot of them are making the mistake that, oh, if we reform the constitution, it would work. But there's a Latin word which in English means that you can't build something on nothing.
Hello.
This constitution is not a foundation upon which
Hello.
it builds.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Nigeria Plus. Your name and where they call us from?
Okay, my name is Vincent. I will call from Bagada.
Okay, Bagada. You get any question for our guest?
Yes, I want to greet our guest with the studio. Sowore, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sowore, I don't listen to you since you don't talk. And as a youth, there are so many questions so I would like to ask you, but is there a question I want to put on top of your table now?
Yes.
Make you address. Because I don't listen to most of your clips before now. And you know one question where you never actually answer, because now I think most people they talk on the social media space. Say, Sowore is young. Sowore is you.
So what is the question?
Are you hearing me?
Okay,
What is the
continue.
question?
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Continue your
Yes,
question.
continue.
Go straight to your
So
question.
now the question is, because some people they talk say you never actually hold public office. Say if they give you the opportunity to hold public office, say you go be like this present elite wey we dey see now. Say let's say everybody Sowore dey talk. Say Sowore hold public office, bring the embezzle. Wetin you get to talk about this matter, because it let Nigerians dey picture you in line with all this. If they give you opportunity, you go be like them.
Okay,
Thank
you, Oga Bizo.
Please, I don't take
Oga Bizo, match your break.
Thank you.
Make you quickly respond to that person.
So, the thing I dey hear am all the time, but see, experience na
Best
something
teacher.
wey you fit get involved in directly or wetin you experience. And they talk about money as if say I never see money before. My own decision, this poverty wey I get, na personal decision to not participate in stealing. If no be so, the kind power wey I get for society as a media practitioner, as a student leader, I for don enrich myself. No be say I never see money before. When Abiola was the richest person in Nigeria before he became president and died.
Hello.
I don't go see am for
Match your break. Make we quickly take this one. Make you match this one. Join the one way they ground.
Hello.
Your name and where they call us from? Welcome to Nigeria Plus.
Hello.
Oh yeah, chook man for the matter. Go straight to the point.
Okay. Good afternoon.
We dey hear you.
My name is Mrs.
Go straight to the point. You dey there?
I think the line don cut.
You dey there? E be like say network dey do wuruwuru. No vex say I match your break on top that.
So that whole conversation about experience, I just dey wonder wetin our people dey think sometimes when they talk about experience. Leaders all over, countries all over the world, the experience wey they look for na experience of character. Na make Obama fit become president of the US just after a short stint in the Senate. Senators don't dey there since 1982. They don't become president. They don't run for president, but there was something they were looking for that they found in Obama. The person wey dey for Ukraine now, when they fight war, they try defeat Russia. Not be even reach my level, he be comedian. He became a president. Mandela, which experience Mandela get? Let's even use, and I hate to use these examples. The guy will be Lagos governor now. Now when they run for governor, that's some of us first hear him. Did he run in any local
somebody like me now, when I see on top gubernatorial campaign, somebody like
a local
this.
government councillor, was he a local government chairman? I don't think so.
They
They just go bring and come. But me, I don't dey around for 30 solid years. I mentioned university. I was a student leader in the university. If you touch the student leadership in university, no dey enough for you. But anybody will be student leader during our own time, e be like governor of today. The kind of power wey we dey
And that time say moral dey.
you understand? Moral dey too. So you no fit talk say exactly now. No fit talk say person wey bring democracy come Nigeria with others don't get experience now. But the thing wey dey kind of worry, wey dey worry me small be say like say Nigeria dey look for experienced thieves, experienced robbers, experienced murderers. E be like say na the thing wey una dey look for be that. So you are always looking in the direction of people wey get immense experience.
Wait, match your break. You not go to blame country people because you know say on top issue wey dey on top poverty, on top insecurity, ignorance self dey there. Because wetin you no know, you not go understand that. If you not know, you not know. When you know, you know. Make I match your break for there small. Many say Sowore too dey harsh. Say person wey suppose be president. Person wey suppose run for president suppose be kulele person wey.
If you know wetin dem don do me in this country, you go respect my calmness. And na the same thing wey don happen to many country women and men. We dey nice for this country. The kind thing wey dey do us for this country, if they do am for other countries, no be mouth we go take settle am. We go enter bush, come resolve the issue. I no dey harsh. Na the leaders wey dey harsh towards us. You know. But Martin Luther King dey talk something say, if you no bend your back, another man no fit stand on top am. Nigerians leaders like people wey their back bend so that they go fit dey mash you, you know, like poto, you know, or palm fruit. Na the thing. So anybody wey no dey compromising, wey no dey fair, they just say dey too harsh. Sometimes they go even say I dey arrogant, you know, because I don't follow go the house of the oppressors, go dey roll for ground, dey greet them. But when I see them for public, I know they show the kind useless respect wey they need. But my own will say respect begets respect. And it's part of my own 30-year experience. Say, how may I go respect person where I know say na thief? How I go respect person where I know say na murderer? E get one senator one time, we go from Niger State. He entered Senate, he was in the Senate. He looked at Senate the first day of hearing. He shouts, he run out, come shout, he say, most of these guys wey dey for this Senate, they be 419 people before now. I don't prosecute them before. This one a murderer now. They go tell us, make you drop the mic. The man no recover until they come up from Senate. You understand? So, now so Nigeria be, they won't make you see bad thing, either make you participate in them or make you hush up. And if you no accept to participate, they will say you dey arrogant. If you no hush up, they say you dey harsh. But who dey harsh between the person wey dey steal money wey dey for children to go school and somebody wey say make dem no gree make e steal? Who dey harsh between the person wey no pay salaries even though people dey work and the person wey say make e pay salaries? Who dey harsh between the person wey go shoot innocent kids for Lekki toll gate and the person wey talk say you no get right to kill people? So my own harshness is that I refuse to accept the condescending position of most Nigerians that make we shut up. That's what they call harsh. And if that's the case, we need more harsh people in this country.
Thank you for that eye-opener. Very quickly, before we come out for studio, if you become president for 2023.
Say when I become president.
Okay, when you become president for 2023. When you become president for 2023, wetin you go do on top our debt? Because e be like say that one a big wahala.
Now, you see, right now, our debt don't reach 77 trillion. It's unprecedented in the history of this country. With that debt overhang too much, what I will do is I go to people who borrow from, say, when I post this debt first, you know, because this time around, just to reschedule the debt, not be repayment too. They call it debt service. They don't want to put the name, the real name. Debt service is another name of you don't pay interest, you don't pay principal. It's just a shift time. Now the thing they call debt service with that. It's 6.8 trillion naira. It's almost the size of the capital expenditure. And now the capital expenditure, they take do roads, they do bridges, they build schools. Infrastructure. So I'll go to them and say, well, I know very so. I want audit who collect this debt. How many we collect and where the money go? I want to pause the debt for now. I'll come looking what? Plenty money dey hanging fruit. I don't talk about this morning. There's about 11 trillion naira from revenue generating agencies where they don't be paid to the federal account. oil companies are owing us over $4.7 billion dollars, so they're not paying. Convert all those things to naira. You know, if you look at the waste, mismanagement, and corruption, like Akata General chop 150 billion, stop all those things, you have enough money for at least some time. I will have for a debt moratorium. They call it moratorium. The period where you don't go pay anything. Yes. So now that one where I will first go for. So we don't get money to pay this debt. Otherwise, our people will starve to death. So that's. But I don't go borrow any more money.
Okay.
In the meantime, so that we will get money to take the service of our country.
Okay. Before we go come up for studio very quickly, what will be your faith on top INEC 2023 election?
Oh, you mean say whether I believe in them or not?
What will be your faith?
So my attitude towards INEC, because I get experience for 2019, we say INEC not dey trustworthy at all. You not can, because the people wey dey even put for INEC these days, they be APC people. So INEC is the opposite of what an electoral committee should be. But our own vigilance as a people will force their hand to do what. That's my hope. INEC now will rule a Magomago organization for Nigeria. Even that 2019 election, Buhari don't win. They mash them together, you understand? Come allocate small votes to the rest of us. When you come complain, they say that we will go court. But the judges themselves will go, maybe not talk that another day with that. So, but the way the countries they work, modern day countries, they say, in electronic voting, I will solve the problem. I don't talk am somewhere else, and I will talk am here. Anything wey fit make you use your phone to take transact money business transfer should be able to allow you to use your phone to vote in an election, and it will be credible. Because you just need a token. Like if I small send money to you, they go ask me for token. That token is an identification that is encrypted that says this money is coming from so person and will be delivered to. So this idea of we want to do election, you have to travel back home. You know, you need to get your INEC ID card. There should be one ID card for the country, and that should be the NIPSI ID card. You should be able to vote with that. If they doubt it, they can ask you for maybe your passport, international passport. But for this country, there are several organizations collecting.
That na matter for another day. Thank you for that correct information. What will be your message for the youth who want enter into politics, and your final word for country people?
Well, you know, me, I don't give those kind of advice. Anybody who want to enter politics, make it prepare yourself, make it tie in belt well, and you should be ready for the worst and hope for the best.
Okay, your final word for country people.
Country people, it is on our hand, and this country na reverse gear dey, so we need to stop the reverse so that motor wey dey drive now no go jump over.
Go forward. Thank you for that correct information. Your final word for country people.
So we don't hear from our Ogbonge presidential candidate of AAC, and we thank you. Say you show up.
I appreciate that.
Everything you don't tell our country people, I know say you don't sing. So make them stay there.
Country people, now top final break with day until we see again. Same time, same station. Make you not go anywhere because other better program they come your way. We don't work out.